capped in our space in Iowa City as far as what we can produce. So that would be the goal there. And then Des Moines would just be kind of small batch stuff that we can't produce quite in Solon because it's almost too small. Because Solon can only produce very little batches. So.
Well, Sam and Devin from Big Grove are joining us here in the Hassel Castle. Adam's on his way. Adrian's in here as well. We're on ESPN 1170 AM, and I just, not only are we in the radio, I just recently hit go live on Facebook Live, so we're on the camera, guys. So say hi to everybody out there.
Hello, everyone. I hope you're very jealous.
Yeah, this is delicious.
So black and white TV, it's really, really good.
Yeah.
Wow.
So this, again, tell everyone, the black and white TV is going to be part of a holiday.
Yeah, it's called It's a Wonderful 12-pack. So you'll see this just as a real limited drop. Just in your grocery stores, just a 12-pack. So it'll be Easy Eddie, 1939, Passion Project, which is a fruited sour, and then this black and white TV. So the idea is that you have something kind of for everyone. Kind of bring something, whether it's Thanksgiving or Christmas. Bring something to the table.
Now, Easy Eddie, I know you can get on draft if you're out there listening. You're at a bar. You run a bar.
Absolutely. No, I have it.
Yeah,
it's on there.
What else in that? Is there anything else in that pack that you can get on draft also?
Yeah, 1939 is kind of a sneaky one. Amber Ale.
Okay.
It's one of those styles that doesn't get really talked about that much, but like that style sells when you go out to a bar. Like people are looking for something just kind of a little different maybe, or to pair with their food. So. You see a lot of like Alaskan amber out there.
Yep.
So we always just say, hey, why not a local? Because there's not a whole lot of local options with amber.
You're dead on, because amber ales were a big deal up until about the time when the IPA craze hit.
Yeah.
And so it's making a comeback.
Yeah.
Because it has the handles, there's been less of them. And now people are like, yeah, I remember how much I like the amber ales. And so, that's a good idea to bring that back. Yep. And yeah, like you said, You did bring up Alaskan. It's the first one that brought to my mind, and I think it's good to have a local one.
Yeah.
And Devin, you're going to be more Eastern Iowa around here, right?
Yep, correct.
So you'll be out there hitting the accounts and selling color TV. Well, not color TV, Big Grove, but this is black and white TV we're sampling right now.
Yeah.
And then you brought in just...
I brought some of the Royal Eddy as well, if you haven't had a chance to try it. So this is, Easy Eddy is 6%, nice, juicy, tropical flavors. Royal Eddy is kind of on that same vein of a lot of the same flavors. Same drinkability, very smooth, but it's 9%. So I like to call it more efficient than Easy Eddy. You only need maybe 2 or 3 versus 3 or 4. But it's been a nice surprise for sure. We just came out with this about 3 or 4 weeks ago.
Right on. Well, let's talk about last night. Somebody in this room said Braves in 6. Somebody.
It wasn't me.
It was me.
Yes, it was.
Yeah. Felt good about that. What I didn't feel good about was the over-under, even though I bet it. Well, I did like it, and I liked everything that was going on, just as much as I loved Jorge Soler's bomb.
That ball's still flying.
Oh, my God. I just... If there's ever a get-off-me-ball moment, he did that with the nonverbal when he just patted his chest and ran around the base.
Did you see how hard he hit the 2 balls before that?
Yes, that's what I kept. So that's the thing. I was like, hey, why don't we throw an off-speed pitch? And apparently they were. They just had nothing that they could do. Oh. Yes, and he was crushing those balls.
Crushing them.
It's like, is there a change in his arsenal? Is there a change up? Just anything off-speed? But he was hitting it, and he just yacked all over that ball.
Before we completely cover this game, what happened there in the first inning when Brantley stepped on Fried's leg?
Okay.
You remember this?
Yes, I do.
I wanted to text
you.
you.
Very, very upset about this.
He's out, right?
He's out.
He's out.
So
why is he not out?
What you're talking about is, okay, I'll give it to you in a second, because I think it was Ezra's that sent it to me, and if not, I feel bad.
I need Ezra's number.
It might be on Twitter though,
yeah.
where he said it. So what you're talking about is there was a ground ball to Freddie Freeman, and then Fried goes over to cover the base. I don't know how many times I've watched a baseball game and I've said, just like you practice in spring training. Yeah. And sure as can be, just like you practice spring training. But then Freeman's looking for him and Fried is not looking at him. So you're supposed to, basically, when the ground ball, you run to the line and then up. So Freeman's waiting for him, and you see him just kind of throw the ball. Fried's not really paying attention to where he's supposed to be at, and the ball comes, and he has his foot before the bag, and Brantley steps on his ankle, which looked painful. I was positive I would be crying.
I thought Fried was going to leave the game right
done.
there. That was it.
In between, as he's stumbling because he steps on his right ankle, he tags the bag with the glove.
After Brantley's already stepped on his ankle, past the bag.
And his ankle drags over it as he's stumbling. He comes back. They call him safe. It is a situation. Atlanta had to appeal it. They had until the first pitch. They simply didn't appeal it.
If you see when Snicker turns around, is it Snicker or is the manager?
Snicker,
He turns around and he goes like this. I thought they were going to replay it. Is it something that's not really replayable? How is it not?
Isn't that now?
There's a clip. I remember him turning around. I'm like, oh yeah, they're going to replay this because he goes like this. I thought that meant like a replay for him.
In a game where you don't really want to rely too much on technology because of the team involved.
Yeah.
I know if it's a major league game, you basically you waste time until you get a phone call from someone that says like, yeah, you should appeal it. We've all seen that.
Yeah.
All Max Fried has to do is just be like, act up like he's limp a little bit, pull the scuba turtle like the Penn State did, and just kind of take their time.
But 15 minutes to watch that replay.
Yeah, so I don't know, but yeah, it was really up to Atlanta to do that. Yeah, it was interesting. Obviously, he got out of the jam.
Yeah. Is that just too early in the game to use it? But you're going to win it. You see that you're going to win it, right?
Yeah, you don't.
What did Easer send you that?
It was a rule following from what I understand.
So maybe they couldn't challenge it, or
no, they could. Why they could have, and I was like, well, yeah, and then they can appeal it. And that was the weird thing. Like,
just from what I saw, I mean, he touched the bag twice, and Brantley never gets
sure
there.
Did, yeah. So let's see. Okay, this is from Jeff Passan. He did send it to me. This, from a former minor league umpire, explains why Atlanta didn't challenge. Just because Michael Brantley missed the bag and Max Fried tagged it does not mean there's an out. The fielding team needs to appeal.
So they needed to appeal it before they...
Yes, they had to say to the umpire, hey, can we appeal that decision? And then I guess, I don't know if they can say, like, well, we'll call a box, but that would be an appeal like, so did you see it?
Right.
It's not a video replay thing. They can ask for it. They can ask for the replay, and they can say, like, hey, we're going to challenge it. I don't know. It's a really interesting...
I was livid, though. I was like, why is this not happening?
Yeah.
Way to make an entrance.
Yeah. But the thing is, it could have gone sideways, but he recovered out of it.
Uh-huh.
And someone who...
Absolutely.
Someone who took that...
Great job getting out of that jam.
Someone who took the Braves, but again, they would have scored a run. At least the over would have pushed. Instead, it was 8. Mm-hmm. Braves win 7-0. Astros can't score a run.
I almost felt bad for him.
I didn't feel bad for them.
I just almost felt bad for him at the end of the game. I'm like, wow, the Braves have two guys on every inning, and you guys can't even. Everybody's striking out, everybody's grounding out. Just felt a little
Astros
bad.
have some serious questions in the offseason. Dusty Baker's contract is up. He's gone.
Yeah,
I'm sorry.
Gone, yeah.
He's a cooler. He cooled the situation. It's time to move on. Carlos Correa is going to be a free agent.
Future Cub.
Yeah, that's not bad. Verlander's up. Greinke's up. There's so many other like non-baseball things. Well, I mean, not to say non-baseball, but outside of just the action of players that I was just amazed with. The wizardry that Dusty Baker does with that toothpick.
Oh my gosh, unmatched. Yeah.
That they have it on him. Now, first off, Dusty, you don't wear a mask and gloves. And then when you have a toothpick, you don't wear a mask. Like, just give up one or the other. Give up the whole COVID thing, and we'll get to that.
Are the gloves because he's old and cold, or the gloves because...
I think it's because he still thinks you can get it from Amazon packages.
Yeah,
even though
they're like latex gloves.
Yeah.
I mean, it's,
Do you think he hits fungos like that?
But like Easer A's pointed out on Game 3, when Hammer and Hank Aaron, his family threw out first pitch, he's out there hugging him. People that aren't in a circle. Speaking of circles, we'll get to that. Rogers. Anyway, so, the toothpick would go away, and he'd inhaled it, and then all of a sudden it'd come out the other side of the mouth, like he was a lizard. It was nuts. I loved every minute. And the other thing, why don't we have the home plate umpire mic'd up every time? I loved him.
I loved that.
That was cool.
Yeah.
Listen, baseball, it can be a boring game. It can be long. But when you have an actual 30-minute conversation about what your call would be if you were the umpire, that's what we were talking about. Because he would be like, nope, hi, or no. It was all over the place. I loved it. Mine's always just been the same simple, yep, nope. I like, you betcha. Just to the point where eventually, like, both both managers, they agree and they come meet you and they're like, hey, not about you. let's just stick to strike or ball type of thing. But I'm like, what would your call be? That's if it's not just a regular strike or ball. I love that. I mean, good for the Braves. First championship since 1995. There was a lot to do about Snicker and how long he's been a manager and been part of the Braves organization. I think they could have left out how many times they asked him to be an interim manager and then said, like, you're not good enough for the job, not yet. Or, yeah, good for the organization, but we're sending you down to the minors for a little bit to manage. But, hey, it showed that he was loyal to the Braves organization. Soler wins MVP. That was a no-brainer.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Former Cub. Yeah. So, and it's a good story. Like I said, it was game 111 till the Braves finally reached the 500 mark. Yeah, actually, it's right here. And then August 6th. It wasn't until August 6th that they got that. So, yeah. Soler is just the second Cuban-born player to win the World Series MVP. He hit 3 home runs in the series, and all 3 were to take a lead in some way or another. That one went 446 yards. Then someone put something in there about I'd have to find it too, where it's like fun fact. One time Soler hit a home run off me so hard and so far in Omaha that they apologized to me the next day. Yeah, it was.
Felt bad about how far he hit that ball off.
Yeah,
he didn't feel bad about that one.
No, but Adam has joined us. Adam.
Yes, sir.
How you doing, my friend?
I'm doing better now that I'm in here.
All right.
I like your Bears themed shirt over there.
That's Illinois.
Yeah.
This is Sam. This is Devin. You brought in cups?
What's that?
You brought in
Yeah, I
cups?
brought in cups for you. I was listening on the radio.
How did you get cups? You just had those in the car?
Man, don't worry about it.
Yeah,
I got tricks.
That's dad right
He's
there.
got a plastic sleeve.
Yeah, we've got cups now.
You brought koozies.
Yeah, he brought swag or whatever else. He guys brought the beer. Look at this. Yeah, that's great. No, I think it was a fun World Series. You can't take anything away from it, right? And
No.
you don't. There wasn't any. We talked about the possibility of umpire mistakes. That would have been the only one, and that wasn't a big deal. But if that would have been a big deal, let's say they scored 2 and they win 2-1. They scored 2 and that hold them off. Then we're going to look at that and we're going to talk about the umpires who were only one was ranked in the top 20 and he was number 20 going into the season all season long. And then there were 2 in the 90s and I think 70s, 60s or something like that. But that would have been a bigger deal. But it really Braves were just good. I mean, they did it without Cunha.
Yeah.
You know.
Well, that pitching staff on the Astros, it got gassed. It showed.
Yeah.
They were hanging curveballs. Those home runs that were being hit almost looks like they were using like a 9-iron. I mean, it was just like almost a perfect golf swing just watching it connect. And I'm like, oh my God, that's like, it gives me chills. Like it was a great home runs. Like no home run was like a barely hit home run. It was all like, yep, this is going out of the park.
And you would expect that. I know they had 4 or 5 guys that had 25-plus home runs on the Braves roster, but you would expect that from the Astros.
Right.
Especially in Houston. Good for Dansby Swanson. He had a 2-run home run. He had a home run the night before, or 2 days before. And not a lot has been said about his career was kind of down in Arizona after being the number 1 overall pick. So that's good for him.
And you were talking about people not coming back. It's being said that Brett Storm, the pitching coach for the Astros, isn't coming back as well.
They won't ask him back, or
he's not coming back. He said that he's not going to lie. I'd rather be on a beach in Mexico, laying back, not worrying about anything.
Doing the Nick Van Exel.
Yeah.
1, 2, 3 Cancun.
Yep.
Not bad.
Good for Freddie Freeman. I think everyone's happy for him doing that. Let's see here. The Braves joined the 1964 Cardinals as the only teams to go from a losing record at the All-Star break to champions.
Yep.
Atlanta gone 16 straight playoff appearances without a title, the longest such streak in history. And for the 7th straight World Series, outside of any type of neutral thing because of COVID, we're going to talk about that after break. The winners, won the title on the road. The 2013 Red Sox are the last team to clinch at home.
Well, that's an impressive stat.
Yeah. So,
Can they repeat?
It's a great question. I mean, not with the Sam's Reds in the way. I think they're in trouble on that. And your guys' Cardinals or Cubs. Yep. I mean, it's going to be a long road. I love that you just asked that because I was thinking about it. I'm like, what site am I going to click on that's got the way too early power rankings for next year?
Yeah, absolutely.
And I guarantee you it's Dodgers and Yankees.
Yeah.
And then you can just go through the rest from there. But, yeah. All right, we're going to have to take a break here. When we come back, we're going to talk about beer and we're going to talk about COVID. We're going to speculate some things. Is Aaron Rodgers vaccinated or not?
Oh, he's not vaccinated. His haircut tells me.
Well, we'll talk about that more when we come back here.
Nice.
ESPN 1170 AM.
This is UFC Hall of Famer Pat Miletich. You're listening to Don't Hassle Us. We're local.
Hey, do you have time to go to Vegas with me?
Time? Yes. Extra money to pay for the flights? No.
No, not Vegas. I'm talking about Vegas, right here in the Quad Cities.
I've never heard about Vegas. Tell me more.
Oh, they're safe and secure gaming cafes with 6 locations.
What kind of games do they have there? And they've got beer, right?
They have the latest games provided by Gem, and yes, beer.
Sounds like I'm gonna save on flights, have fun, and win big.
To find out more about their locations and hours they're open, visit VegasGamingCafeIL.com.
That's a no-whip, high-foam, 170-degree, sugar-free gingerbread latte.
Ah, yes. It's gingerbread latte season at Duchesne's Coffee Shop.
Gingerbread on the side.
He'll need a seasonal barista before his cookie starts to crumble.
Anything else? Oh, there's a list.
Indeed can help him hire great people fast.
I need Indeed.
Indeed you do. Instant Match instantly connects you with quality candidates whose resumes on Indeed match your sponsored job description. Visit Indeed.com/credit and get $75 towards your first sponsored job. Terms and conditions apply.
Get in zone, AutoZone.
Welcome to AutoZone. What are you working on today? So you've got some squeaky wipers? Sounds like it's time for a new set. We've got deals to help you get the job done and get ready for rainy fall weather. Right now, you can get a $15 AutoZone gift card by mail or email when you buy 2 Rain-X Silicone Advantage wipers. And we've even got more ways to shop, like our free same-day store pickup and next-day delivery.
Get in zone, AutoZone.
Start your job today at AutoZone.com. Restrictions apply.
Shop Tyson's pre-Black Friday sale going on now and get a head start to your gift giving this year. Got a grill lover on your list? Surprise them with a new Pit Boss grill now 10% off. Craving to cook up a Best Gift Giver award? Check out the new Wave to Wet air fryer and pressure cooker and save $70. Don't forget to stock up on your holiday essentials with holiday lights, decor, baking, and more. All these great deals and more through November 14th. Shop in-store or online today at Tysons.com. Tysons, home, farm, auto.
Over the past few years, people in the Quad Cities have been buying online more and more. Now, since the pandemic hit, online sales have absolutely skyrocketed. Having an online presence was important before, but now it's an outright necessity. But don't worry, MyLocalCustomers.com is here to help. All you need to do is go to MyLocalCustomers.com to receive a free competitive analysis to see what Town Square Media can do for you. We'll help you find more local customers online and help grow your business faster. Town Square offers premium website services that get you new leads every day, plus a dedicated marketing specialist who will work with you the whole time, so you don't have to mess with updating a website. It's fast and easy with no contracts, so you can cancel at any time. Be one of the first to sign up and receive $500 in free advertising on ESPN 1170 AM. As a business owner, you know how hard it is to get people to cross a bridge to get to your business. These days, they don't need to. Find your customers and keep your customers. Go to MyLocalCustomers.com.
I'm Ryan Radke with NFL Network Now on the Westwood One Radio Network. The Raiders have released former first-round pick Henry Ruggs III after he was arrested following a fatal traffic accident in Las Vegas. Las Vegas police say Ruggs was the driver of a car that struck another vehicle early Tuesday. The driver of that other vehicle was killed. When officers arrived on scene, they say Ruggs showed signs of impairment. Ruggs is now facing charges of DUI resulting in death. In a statement, the NFL said, quote, "We will continue to gather facts and monitor the matter under our policies, but our thoughts at this time are with those impacted by this devastating incident," end quote. In football news, the league trade deadline came and went Tuesday without a deal for Texans quarterback Deshaun Watson. But NFL Network insider Ian Rappaport says the Texans and Dolphins did have trade discussions involving the quarterback. The Chiefs made a move. They got former Pro Bowl pass rusher Melvin Ingram from the Steelers in exchange for a 6th-round pick. This has been NFL Network Now on the Westwood One Radio Network.
Did you know the arrow in Amazon's logo represents A to Z? Maybe the My Computer Career logo should represent unemployed to employed. Ryan was out of work when he started classes in March. In September, he started his IT career, working for Amazon, making more money than he ever thought possible. Here's a prime opportunity. Go to mycomputercareer.edu and take the free career evaluation today. You could start your new life as an IT pro in as little as 4 months. It's not rocket science. It's mycomputercareer.edu.
Want to learn a new language so it will actually stick? Try Babbel. Practice real-life conversations in the Babbel app.
¿Cómo te llamas?
¿Cómo te llamas?
Get personalized help in Babbel's live online classes.
Classes are limited to 6 people, so everyone can get the help they need.
Review words and phrases with fun games, or dive into the culture with short videos. Whatever your learning style, Babbel gives you the tools you need. Babbel, more ways to learn. Now try Babbel free at Babbel.com. That's BABBEL.com.
When you're listening to the best sports talk, you know you found your sports leader. ESPN 1170 AM.
Hi, this is Derek.
And this is Skip. We are the twins from Arbar Davenport.
And you are listening to Don't Hassle Us, We're Local.
On ESPN 1170 AM.
Back from break here at ESPN 1170 AM in the Hassle Castle. You just heard the twins from the R-Bar. I want to remind you to join R-Bar's Text Club to get exclusive offers and updates sent straight to your phone. Text R-Bar to 1-833-302-2216. Or visit textrbar.com, and you can also sign up for event announcements like live music every Tuesday night or their Sunday night Yellowstone premiere party that they're going to have. Visit their Facebook page, like and follow you there to find out more about that. But when you join their text club, you also get new recipes and contests and learn more about contests and giveaways. In studio with us is Devin and Sam from Big Grove. Adam's with us. Adrian's here. We're drinking a few beers from Big Grove. Just got done talking a little bit about the World Series. Great World Series ratings are up. That's a good thing.
Yeah.
It's. I just think it's good for the Braves to see, and Brave fans, and maybe younger generation of people not always seeing the other the usual, the Dodgers and whatnot. Right. So, but the other thing is the breaking news this morning. Which can this guy just let somebody have a story for 24 hours?
No, I don't think so.
I'm going to fix a camera. You guys talk about what it is. I'm not going far. But basically Aaron Rodgers tests positive for COVID. You guys take it away.
Yeah, so Aaron Rodgers testing positive for COVID. You got to think, okay, one, did the camera guy that took the picture of him as John Whittick, did he have the COVID? Where are we tracing this back to? Like, is this a Halloween party COVID incident? Where is this coming from?
It has to be almost. 100%. You would think so.
Yeah. So you start to wonder, like Jay said, why isn't he vaccinated, or is he vaccinated? Because you still hear people getting COVID even being vaccinated. So
this is kind of a question I asked Jay right when I walked in, and we'll just talk about the vaccination real quick. Does not being vaccinated mean you're injury prone now?
They didn't make it that way.
Yeah, you almost have to be. You're injury prone because you could be out at any time.
Yeah, exactly. And you got to have
I want to know what some people think about that on the Facebook page as well.
Well, I'm not buying that, Brad. It's not Devontae Adams gave it to him.
They weren't holding hands in the shower room together. Well, maybe. I don't know, but it's Aaron Rodgers.
He got it from Chris Middleton at a Milwaukee's Bucks Halloween party on Friday night.
So it was a Halloween party then?
I don't know, but I'm listening to the rumor on podcasts, right? So I'm starting a bunch of harmless rumors, and I'm doing the investigation. I did this briefly while everyone was in here. So quietly, Chris Middleton doesn't play on Sunday. They say it's non-COVID issues. But now, yesterday, roughly around 5:42 p.m., roughly, it's reported that he's out with COVID. Now, this morning, somebody that this morning has COVID is a minority shareholder in the Milwaukee Bucks.
Who's that?
The Bucks last played on Wednesday at home. The Packers played on Thursday. The Bucks played Saturday and Sunday. So when's the only time to company to have a Halloween party? Friday. How long does it take for symptoms to show? 4 days.
Yep.
There's your window.
There you go. So he's potentially infected the whole Packers roster.
Potentially he did. I said
to be a team player. Aaron.
Exactly. He's not winning MVP now.
And the entire Bucks organization.
Yes, he put two organizations in jeopardy. What this man did. On top of it,
potential Super Bowl winner and your last NBA champions.
Look at this.
Aaron Rodgers is ruining lives.
This is why
Jay's got the 30 for 30 going right now.
Yeah, I know.
What if I told you?
No, you don't want to trade me? All right.
Watch this, fellas.
Here's what's going to happen. All right, so
I bet Christian Yelik's got COVID. He's got to be at that party, right?
oh, of course. Yeah. Oh, there's tons of people.
We got to find out that.
Yeah, probably. Yeah, probably.
I want the contact tracing list.
Oh, it's going to be great.
That's going to be a couple pager.
I'm blaming this whole thing on.
Well, how much does Aaron Rodgers like his head coach if he's not at this party?
Matt.
Why isn't he? He got COVID if he's been at this party, or
he was busy celebrating his birthday early because it's his birthday today. So it's his birthday. Listen,
I see Matt LaFleur as a guy that wears like 3 masks when he's out. He's like, oh, I can't get this. You know, the goody 2-shoe guy.
Yeah.
He wears a mask while he's driving. That's what I see him.
I feel like Matt LaFleur drinks Miller Lite. It's not.
The thing is this. We have to look at the protocol of the NFL and what is going on and if you're supposed to be at parties and whatnot. And I haven't really broke that down. He's not vaccinated.
So it came out he is not.
Rappaport and I'll pull it up because I want to say both of them.
You bring up a really good point. Is like, what is the NFL's take on this? Is it like written in the player's contract, the union contract, like, hey, you're not allowed to do A, B, and C? Or did when the vaccines come out, did they say, okay, everybody's free to do whatever they want to do unless you don't have the vaccine?
The NBA is really strict if you don't have it.
Yeah.
That I know. The NFL is supposed to be as well. He said back in August, I've been immunized.
What that means to him.
What that means to him is different than what we've been used to saying as a synonym for vaccinated. Yeah. He said he doesn't judge anybody if they've got the vaccine or not. But he said, I've been immunized.
Yeah.
It was interesting when you pulled up that video this morning, though. Like he glosses over it pretty quickly. The way he says it, it's like he's just trying to get beyond it and like, get out of the next question.
Yeah, but it's Rappaport reported it, and the other guy. I'm just pulling up the protocols. So that's.
I just like the fact that Aaron Rodgers has taken out 2 major sports divisions.
Well, we're saying that.
Well, I'm all for it now.
I'm all for it too. Yeah, I mean,
I want Aaron Rodgers. Like I told you, like my respect for Aaron Rodgers has just gone down, the toilet with this whole deal with him being in the media like nonstop and the way he's been handling himself. And if he's able to take out the NBA and NFL, I mean, what bigger villain can you have?
I know.
He's just ruined sports.
John Wick takes out people.
Yeah.
So does John Sick.
He said he was.
That's not me. Erickson did that, by the way. Erickson
did that.
Say,
that's pretty good.
No,
Jay.
I wish. I was so mad when Erickson texted me today. I was like, I wish I would have come up with that because that was just so good. Yeah. It's, again, anytime I really, really need something, the internet just doesn't come through for me on this. But I'm going to pull up the protocols here. But that's the thing. He is not vaccinated. So,
and it's funny that they didn't bring that up either. Like they do with everybody else that's not vaccinated. I mean, he's a big enough star in the NFL. You'd think that they would be riding that story left and right. Like, is Aaron Rodgers risking, a Super Bowl championship team by not being vaccinated? They do it to everybody else.
It was a big deal with Kirk Cousins.
Yeah.
I mean, it was a huge deal.
Yeah.
Well, Jay, you and I have been talking about Lamar Jackson for months before that, talking about how he wasn't vaccinated.
He needed
Aaron
to do
Rodgers
more
didn't even came up.
Cam Newton was the same way. And he got vaccinated because he wants to play NFL football again.
Cam Newton is more responsible than Aaron Rodgers.
That's what we're saying.
Not me.
Not me. Wait, I'm not co-signing that one.
What, is he on your fantasy team?
No. Gosh darn, here we go. I think it's loading up now. But there are certain things you have to do when traveling and all that stuff, I believe. I know the NBA is tough on it. But that's the worst part about it is Goodell's got to be, like, losing his mind. It's not...
when he gets those phone calls, he's just like, just hangs his head and he's like, really? Really, guys? I got to do this?
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know.
Well, and the impact on, like, you think of the betting world.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, millions
Great
of dollars,
question.
Yeah.
I mean,
great question because
Those are the huge impacts that
7.5.
no, what?
Didn't it jump up to 7.5?
It was what, -1 or 2?
Yeah.
5.5 points.
I think it jumped up to 7.5.
Wow.
I'm guessing that's what you were going to look up.
That's one of the things I was going to do. NFL isn't mandating that it gets players get vaccinated. It is, however, adjusting COVID protocols to be a bit easier on vaccinated players. Okay.
Yeah, because if you get COVID and you're a vaccinated player, I think it's a lot easier to get back sooner.
Unvaccinated person. That's a testing. I want to know like what your rule. Okay. Unvaccinated individuals must be tested for COVID every day at the team facility. If a player misses even one day of testing, they'll be required to test negative for COVID for 5 straight days, blah, blah, blah. That's kind of what happened with Cam.
Yep.
When he missed it, when he was away from the thing and he didn't. Unvaccinated free agents must also test negative. Unvaccinated players must wear masks at all time in the facility. They cannot gather in groups larger than 3 players.
Aaron Rodgers.
And on the road, are prohibited from congregating, visiting, or mingling with individuals outside of the traveling party once they have arrived in the game city. You mean to tell me that Aaron Rodgers has been growing out his hair and his beard for that long, and he said, whatever, I'm doing it I'm going to be one of my heroes.
Mm-hmm.
That he is going to just a party of 2,
no.
him and his fiance?
No.
You think it's one of them parties where they just take your cell phone at the door so you can't take pictures of Aaron Rodgers partying with people?
Unvaccinated individuals are subject to fines if they break COVID protocols. This can include anything from failing to wear a mask in the facility or going to an indoor concert or house party with more than 15 people. It's Aaron Rodgers. There's more than 15 people at his parties.
I think Aaron
Or the
Rodgers
Milwaukee
brought
Bucks
15
party?
people.
What'd you say?
I think Aaron Rodgers brought 15 people. with him.
Probably, because he thinks he's bigger than the league.
Carpooled with 15 people.
I'm talking probably $6 million fine and 13 game suspension.
No.
Okay. that wasn't insane.
No, I'm seeing more of like Roger Goodell going up and going, hey Aaron, hey.
You get the one thing, like, yeah.
I gotta talk to you about something. Yeah. You're really getting me here, fella. I'm gonna look past this one. But,
I don't know what we're gonna get here, but let's find out because it looks interesting. ESPN 1170 AM. What you got? Yeah, I told you it was on the second one, so I knew something could be up or whatever else. If someone called in, I hope I can get him on the first line.
So
yeah,
like
he's
extended warranty kind of thing.
Yeah, he's definitely going to be like the passive aggressive, like, hey man, you got a minute? You know, he's going to kick in the dirt. He doesn't want to look at him in the eye because Aaron's going to be like, what are you talking about? He's like, I texted you and you left me on red, and then I called a few times.
I see the 3 circle bubbles.
Yeah.
And I've never seen any come back.
So now I flew up here, and we need to have a talk. I thought you were vaccinated. Remember you said I said immunized, Roger.
Yeah,
I didn't say back.
He just completely
so mad about it. He just calls him Raj.
Raj,
I just totally sticks it to him. Like, I said immunized, Raj. I didn't say vaccinated.
Come on.
He's like, Aaron, this looks really bad. He's like, all right, Raj, what are you gonna do about it?
Here's what we're gonna do, Aaron. We're gonna ask you to cut your hair. Number 1.
Yeah.
Number 2.
Yeah. So. I'm sure he was on McAfee yesterday, but that's usually Zoom because he's usually on Tuesdays. If you're the Packers, you're like, no big whoop.
Yeah. You sign like whatever.
Because
see you next week.
Yeah.
If the Chiefs were to win and they're favored to win that game, it's like, are the Chiefs back? What happened to the Packers? They were the power ranking number 1.
I don't think so. I think there's a lot of people abandoning the Chiefs bandwagon right now. Even if they do win, they'll be like, well, they beat an Aaronless team.
I know, but I'm saying if Aaron Rodgers was there, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Because now it's not like, whoa, the Chiefs are back type of thing. It's like, all right, and we got to see Jordan Love in action against a team that's won a Super Bowl in the last 2 years and been to the Super Bowl twice in a row.
There's a good point right there. Jordan Love will be in.
Yes. So, and I mean, you said that Bortles is flying into...
Bortles is flying in, yeah.
Come on.
But more so, what does this do for like the power struggle with Aaron and the Packers? He's kind of took back the power from them, and now he's kind of put them in a spot where they can kind of say,
you irresponsible little man.
Yeah.
Go ahead and go to the West Coast. Yeah. Take your COVID with you.
There's got to be a way let's just say Aaron Rodgers infects the Green Bay Packers, which he already has because he had a Halloween party. I'll just keep making this up. And if they can't play the game, if there's a spike, the teams have to eat the loss.
Yeah.
Of that. So yeah, that's it. Like you're saying, Sam. Like Packers can be like, you really put us in a bad situation having this Halloween party. This hypothetical one, but hey, sooner or later that's gonna be. And on season 2 of the Rumor podcast, did Aaron Rodgers have a Halloween party that the Milwaukee Bucks and the Packers all joined in and went to? So yeah, it's just.
It's gonna be fun to see how many people come with COVID afterwards, because everybody's gonna circle that back. Well, what else is Aaron Rodgers doing? Is Aaron Rodgers really stuck it to Aaron Jones? Aaron Jones can't play tonight because Aaron Rodgers, he handed the ball off to him every time. Aaron Rodgers is talking to him to audible, hot route.
But he's breathing on him when he does that hard snap.
Aaron Rodgers is a spitter. I can see him being a spitter when he's getting excited.
Hopefully the majority of the players have the vaccination and then they're getting tested and they're fine and they pass it, But I don't know. How is that? That's why it's never been brought up. Because he said, I've been immunized. And I know he's going to spin it to be like, I didn't say vaccinated. I said immunized. Well,
I got my cootie shot.
They don't check this?
Circle, dot. Yeah, I'm good.
How do you not checking this as a team? You just you're like, okay, he said he's vaccinated.
That question of the protocols, like unvaccinated, is he not wearing a mask? In the facility,
he's not.
How is he traveling?
Tested every day if they're unvaccinated, so that leads to fines, possible suspensions. I don't know. I mean, I saw the earliest he can come back is November 13th, Saturday.
10 days.
He would miss the Chiefs game and then be available for the next game.
Yeah, let's take a look.
Man.
I brought my thought I did my sheet. Games week. What would be week? Gosh darn it all.
That just throws a wrench in everything.
So that would be Green Bay would be home against Seattle. Yeah, Jordan Love can handle that. But I mean, because is he going to come right back? So that'll be that. Is he going to come back and play?
Think about buying tickets to that game, thinking you're going to see Russell Wilson versus Aaron Rodgers, and then you get Geno Smith versus Jordan Love,
Blake Bortles.
Or Blake Bortles.
Or Blake Bortles. Yeah. Can you imagine? I would just wonder how much those tickets are going to go for in StubHub now. Here you can take them. Just donate to the local food drive.
Right. Bring a can to the game. Bring a can of food to the game.
Yeah, you can go. Yeah. Then at Minnesota, Rams, home, then bye not until 13. So I think that's going to be more the issue now. It's not so much that he's got it. I mean, he's got it now.
Well, and it's a potential.
It's going to be what he said to them.
It's a potential number 1 seed lost as well.
That's another big deal. And if you're the Packers, you're like, come on.
Because
if you're the Cowboys, you're loving it.
Yeah, like Troy said yesterday, like it's going to be hard to go through Green Bay if they're number 1.
Mm-hmm.
If you're the Cowboys, you're loving it, but now you got to rush Dak back a little bit faster than you probably wanted to.
Yeah, we talked about that.
If you want the number 1 seed, I mean your division's locked up, but if you want that 1 seed, then
I think you wait to see what happens at Green Bay, like how that plays out, if they win that game or if they get destroyed.
So let's not talk about Aaron Rodgers anymore. What do we think about the game now? Jordan Love, he's now second year in the system, second year, playing behind one of the greatest. Kansas City's shown that they can't stop anybody. Is 7.5 too much?
No. Jordan Love doesn't have the locker room. Jordan Love doesn't have the respect, and
they're not going to play hard,
right? But I'm not a Jordan Love,
and it's not like it's his fault that he's taken over here. It's Aaron's fault that he's taken over here. It's not like he did something to upset them or anything.
I think he's going to be prepared. Like that's not what I'm getting at. I think more or less like he's just not a good NFL quarterback in my mind. Like even watching him in preseason, like his reads don't look good. You got Devontae Adams. I mean, if you got Devontae Adams, you think that, hey, you get in trouble, just throw it up in his direction. And he doesn't even do that. He's always looking for the check down.
Did he play a lot with Devontae Adams in preseason games?
No,
I feel like
he didn't. That's good. Yeah, that's a good point.
No, but
luckily for him, he is going against the Chiefs defense.
That's what I was just looking up.
You're absolutely right.
I'm trying to look up their DVOA and everything else.
It's not good.
And against the run, and if it's just going to be all... Keep the ball away from Patrick Mahomes. Give it to Jones.
Yeah,
Jones. You got playmakers around you. Your defenses looked like they was playing a little bit better last week.
Same game plan as they did against last week.
Yeah, they're going to have those drives. They're going to try to, but is Jordan Love going to be able to continue those drives?
No.
Of 6.5 minutes or more.
No.
And that's what they did against Arizona. They had 3 of 6.5 minutes or more, which is almost the equivalent to the entire possession of the Arizona Cardinals. They had 22 minutes of possession in that Thursday night game.
Yeah, he's going to have to complete some third down plays, and I don't see that happening.
I wish I could tell you more about Jordan Love. I did not watch any North Dakota State games.
No.
So I don't know if he can extend it with his legs if he's that type of quarterback. But, I mean, in this situation, I mean, the Packers like, yeah, it's all right. The only thing in the Kansas City game, I don't know if you rush him back right before he's cleared to play in Seattle, against Seattle at home. But now I'm looking at the number 1 seed and just being like, ugh. Would we really, the Rams, but that's at home. Is that going to be a loss there for them? Let's just say they lose 2 in a row. So now they have 3 losses, right?
Yep.
Rams at home, that's going to be a toss-up because he's got 2 weeks to get back. Bears at home, then they have a bye. Bears at home, they'll win that one. At Baltimore's going to be iffy there. Baltimore's going to be fighting for the AFC North up there title. So Baltimore's going to bring it. Cleveland should be in the mix, but I think Cleveland's...
They're dumpster fire. You don't know what you're going to get.
Yeah.
Do they continue to start Baker?
I don't know. I said that yesterday, that I thought if they would have gone with Case Keenum, they would have won that game against the Steelers.
Get him healthy before you do
Yeah.
it. Yeah. Keep Keenum in there.
Home against Minnesota, Week 17 for the Packers. Minnesota, outside shot of being the 7 seed in the NFC. I'm sorry. I know Minnesota fans are like, you're out of your mind, but they're not a bad team. There's something off, and I'm going to keep saying it's Mike Zimmer and Kirk Cousins. And then they're at Detroit Week 18. So really it's the Rams game. If they lose these 2 with 3 losses, the Rams game at Baltimore and Minnesota. Cleveland maybe. It's not an easy stretch those 3 weeks.
No, it's not.
I think you're going to look back on this if you're a Packer fan and be like, we lost the number 1 seed because of this.
If you're high on the Packers to win the Super Bowl, though, this might be the last chance to get your best odds in this week.
That's a really good point.
Yeah, that's a really good point.
If you like the Packers coming back from this and winning the Super Bowl and still being right there, it might be the last chance to get your best odds for sure.
Oh, definitely.
I'm actually, going back to what we talked about, though, I'm interested in see how the NFL, specifically Roger Goodell, handles this. And also how Aaron Rodgers spins this with the I'm immunized thing. Mm-hmm. And to be like, I didn't say vaccinated, though.
You know he's going to come up with something stupid like a cootie shot or something like that.
Yeah.
Does he get suspended for a game?
No, he's Aaron Rodgers.
Why would he get suspended for he just
breaking protocol?
Yeah, well, that's the thing.
Did the Packers do something wrong here with him saying, hey, I'm vaccinated, or them believing that he's vaccinated, and them not rechecking in on making sure that he's got his vax card or where he got his vaccination at or what vaccination he had?
He probably did something stupid like cited HIPAA. And he's like, you can't ask me that. It's a HIPAA violation. I went through the NFLPA bargaining agreement, and it says you can't ask me, so you have to take my word for it. And they're like, where's your card? He's like, I left it at home.
Well,
he's at the bar. He's like, I don't have it. They're like, well, you need your ID or your vax card. He's like, I left it at home. Seriously, dude. I come here all the time.
Or he came in and he just showed his library card. Like, see, it's right here, and it's his library
card.
If
it does come out that the Packers or he did something wrong, what kind of fines are we looking at? Are we looking at lost draft picks, or are we looking at him getting fined, or the Packers losing picks?
I think if it's anybody else, I think you're looking at that.
You kind of have to throw the book. You have to kind of make an example out of the first guy that does something like this, though, don't you? If you're the NFL, I don't care who it is. If it's the first guy to do something like this, lying about possibly being vaccinated, the Packers may be covering it up, and this all comes out, you kind of got to slam him hard a little bit, right?
Yeah, because there's some guys out there that could
what
really
happens to the next guy? Oh, well, that didn't happen to Aaron Rodgers.
Yeah. Right. And there's some people out there that, really scared of the COVID. They're like, oh, my God, am I at risk of dying? Like, and if they don't come down on Aaron Rodgers hard enough, they're like, so my life doesn't matter to you.
Yeah, Easer Hayes is right. Jordan Love went to Utah State. I was thinking of Trey Lance. But anyway, I didn't watch any Utah State games either, so good for him.
That wasn't on your lineup, Saturday lineup?
Yeah, no. That is a thing, like, what if they do? What if they lose draft picks and he gets traded and he's, like, bitter and he's like, good luck with those draft picks you don't have anyway.
Well, they're going to trade him.
So there's the long con by Aaron. Yeah. He's already got his sights set on going to the Raiders or somewhere else, and he's like,
hey, Denver just got a couple extra picks thinking that to sweeten the deal.
That's right.
Good call.
Denver
Yeah.
just got a
See,
couple
I'm all for
extra base,
recklessly speculating
I
into
like-
this
I
stuff.
love the conspiracy theory. part. Yeah,
This show is based around recklessly speculating. Like, just go out on a limb and just stick with it instead of be like, well, we'll just wait and see how this plays out. Like, I'm not going to recklessly speculate what's going on with Henry Ruggs III.
No,
that
geez,
that
no.
one they can play out.
Yeah,
I don't want to touch
we're
that
not gonna
one.
touch that
But
one.
this one's fun to be like, all right, I think Aaron
Goodell's
Rodgers
got a busy week.
Yeah. I think the Raiders did him a favor.
Yeah.
Doing that. No, let's continue the conversation. We'll talk more about that, but we got to take a break here. We've got Adrian and Adam in here, and we've got Sam and Devin from Big Grove. And you guys can stick around for a little bit more? Okay. All right, we'll be right back here. ESPN 1170 AM.
The Rock says he's going to make your Rudy Poo candy ass famous.
You like that? You like that?
Give me a hell yeah. I said give me a hell yeah.
Hi, this is Derek.
And this is Skip.
We are the twins from Marbar, Davenport. And you are listening to Don't Hassle Us, We're Local.
On ESPN 1170 AM.
This is Bobby Metcalf from the Quad City Times, and you are listening to Don't Hassle Us, We're Local.
Renewal by Anderson.
I'm Sam Hare with Renewal by Anderson. Black Friday is upon us, and that means big savings at Renewal by Anderson. $350 off every window and $900 off every patio door. And you don't even have to wait till Black Friday to get the savings. Our custom Fibrex windows are twice as strong as vinyl, and our patio doors come in a variety of styles and colors to fit every home. And with our certified master installation and industry's best warranty, we've got the deal for you. $350 off every window, $900 off of every patio door, and special financing options to make buying easy. No money down, no interest, and no payments for 24 months. That's 2 years. Black Friday savings start now. Contact us at renewalbyanderson.com or visit us at our showroom on 35th and Davenport.
Renewal by Anderson. We love our new windows.
Chris Canty and Mike Golick Jr.
I also need to know where my camera is because I do need a little bit of advice for a certain friend of ours here that we have seen. Because I enjoyed watching the New York Knicks. I enjoy what they have brought to the table on all this. Evan Fournier is a great addition for this team. We have seen him bring so much to all. I just have to invite my brother in arms here to come down the road I have been on. It's time to come on home. All right? I have been given this advice by people in my life that care enough about me to help. And so that's all I want for everyone else here. Tyler Lockett made that decision this offseason. Out here balling for the Seahawks now. Like, this too can be yours if the price is right. That's all I'm saying. Like,
So, Mike, what you're saying is his jumper ain't the only thing that's fading away.
I'm not saying, I'm just saying this. I want what's best for him. I want him to be able to go out here and thrive and look good in the process.
Canty and Golick Jr. 2 till 6 on the Quad City Sports Leader, ESPN 1170.
Don't let the holidays sneak up on you for that hard-to-buy-for person. Let Premier Metal Art customize the perfect gift today. Multi-layered, full-color, powder-coated metal art, plus so much more. Tumblers, fire pits, even holiday decor and keepsakes. Let them customize the perfect gift for the sports fan, first responders, veterans, and family members on your list. Order online at qcpremier.com. Find them on Facebook or stop by their cash and carry location inside of Mattress for Less in Rock Island. Premier Metal Art. Finish your holiday shopping today.
Shantae, can you sweep that, please?
Mina's salon business is growing faster than she can keep up with. She needs a new shop manager before her bookings go out of style.
Curtain bangs and balayage would look so good on you. Just hang on 1 second. Can you please answer that?
Indeed can help her hire great people fast.
I need Indeed.
Indeed you do. Instant Match instantly connects you with quality candidates whose resumes on Indeed match your sponsored job description. Visit Indeed.com/credit and get $75 towards your first sponsored job. Terms and conditions apply.
Mike Greenberg. Green.
So Baker Mayfield is a guy who came into this season with probably as much riding on the outcome as anybody. He's in the same draft class as Josh Allen, who's gotten paid, as Lamar Jackson, who is now setting himself up to get paid, like a Mahomesian kind of contract. And Baker is the guy for, I think, all of the right reasons, that there was some question. Do you pay him or do you not? And he bet on himself. And if he had a huge year, which he isn't, and if the Browns had a huge year, which they aren't, then he probably stood to make like $150 million. But now what's going to happen? So they've picked up his 50-year option. This is his 4th year. So he's got one more year. Does he go the Kirk Cousins route? Like, does he try and position himself into a place where he becomes the franchise tag guy?
Greeny, 9 till 11 on the Quad City Sports Leader, ESPN 1170.
Seasons change and the fall colors bring out some of the best views of our Midwestern scenery. The Camera Corner in Davenport can help you preserve these memories in all their blazing glory. If you have pictures on your smartphone, you can print those directly at thecameracorner.com. Better yet, why not talk to the experts at the Camera Corner and find the right camera and Tamron lens to capture the brilliant oranges and vibrant reds that make fall what it is. Savor each fall foliage moment with a visit to thecameracorner.com or at the corner of Eastern and Kimberly Road, Davenport.
Speak about the unspeakable with Limitless Mail and Stop ED. November is National Impotency Awareness Month. If you're not able to maintain an erection, you're not alone. The embarrassment associated with ED can stop a man from getting help. Limitless Mail has proven results and intends to remove the stigma associated with ED. We encourage you to make a complimentary consult with the men's ED experts. Don't let impotency get you down. Schedule online at limitlessmail.com.
No blown out ACLs here, but maybe some strained vocal cords, though. This is the Quad City Sports Leader, ESPN 1170 AM.
Welcome back here, ESPN 1170 AM. Don't hassle us for local. Still just recklessly speculating about what Aaron Rodgers has done, his effect on the NBA and the NFL, because he, I believe,
and the MLB, Christian Yelich has to be there.
He's got to be there.
Yeah, oh my God, this is going deep.
I know.
Here's my question for you guys.
Sure.
What Halloween party games are they playing at Aaron Rodgers' party? Are they playing Bobbing for Apples?
Of course.
Are they playing the Bozo game with the Cubs?
Oh, yeah, the grand prize game.
Yeah, the grand prize game.
Flippy Cup's got to be around, too.
He's definitely doing Flippy Cup. And I bet you he just really snorts and gets a chuckle out of I nevers. And he's just like, oh, my God, you did? Like, oh, man. You know he loves party games.
Sitting Indian style.
Yeah. Like, oh, you drank. You totally did that. Oh, come here, Chris Middleton. Give me a hug.
I nevers.
Yeah.
There was no beer chugging. He couldn't be embarrassed again.
Oh, yeah, that's right, yeah.
No beer chugging.
Yeah. But, I bet you, a lot of... a lot of trust fall stuff too. That's where the Chris Middleton thing comes in. That's where he got the COVID from. I'm just gonna stick with that and run with it for a while. But it's gonna be like we said before we went to the break. What is the NFL gonna do? And you guys, you think they need to come hard?
Yo, Adrian said that, and I agree 100%.
What about you guys?
I agree right there with you. It's one of those things. I think, I mean, after you made the point, like, someone after this says, they get the book thrown up and they say, well, if Aaron didn't get anything, I think they'll probably make an example fine-wise at least.
Yeah.
Because he's got the money.
But that reminds me a little bit of Chappelle, but he did Thriller. So it's one of those things. Like, it's Aaron. It'd be like, I don't even know where to start with that. It'd be like, did you just compare yourself to Aaron Rodgers? And the person's like, yeah, no. But it's not fair. I'm an NFL player too. He's like, yeah, technically, but you're not Aaron Rodgers type of thing. So,
well, look how hard they're riding Cole Beasley.
Oh yeah, but he's out making gangster raps about it or whatever else, So
I was just starting to think like all these players that I know of that don't have it, and he's about the only. Him and Lamar and Cam are about the only ones that were like highly profiled of not having the vaccination. And that's all you heard was like negative things about them, and now you got Aaron Rodgers just walking around like, you guys got all that, not me.
You thought I was vaccinated.
Yeah.
I didn't say vaccinated. That's all he's going to say over and over again.
Gosh.
Yeah. What? So you're the type of guy that just grammar polices every Facebook post too? What's it through, or through? Jesus. Is it there or there? Did I spell it right? Leave me alone. And don't you have anything better to do? No. I'm the beat writer for the Green Bay Packers, and I'm the one who asked you the question, did you take the vaccine? And you said, I'm immunized. You changed it in a way to make it so that you're like, I didn't really say it. And then he's going to be like, oh, well, whatever. So that's just, this is ridiculous. And I do believe that something should happen. And I think the Packers organization should be held accountable.
Agree.
There's got to be something. If they're like, no, he really wore a mask every time. We didn't know, or, well, we knew he was vaccinated and he was not vaccinated. He did wear a mask. But then there's got to be something here. I'm sorry. I'm never going to buy that he did not, as much as it's jokes around about a Halloween party on Friday night, I'm not going to believe that he just was sitting at home handing out full-size Snicker bars.
No, he wasn't.
He got dressed up as John Wick to just be like, yeah, the kids in the neighborhood thought it was a riot. Like, what kids are watching John Wick?
Yeah. Or just to get that photo shoot. Like, come on. Yeah, it wasn't just for that one photo shoot.
It's crazy that we've got this type of thing going on the day after the World Series. But, I mean, it's also awesome.
Yeah.
Because he hijacked like an entire 6 weeks of the summer when he was just sitting there like, oh, I'm not going to report, and I'm not, and they're like, they're talking about trading and everything else, and the trade deadline. We had a countdown on everything, even here, and then I was like, he's not going anywhere.
You want to talk about conspiracy?
Sure.
Did the NFL do this on purpose to take the Thunder away from the MLB? Let's get our name back relevant when we don't have nothing going on right now.
You just had a guy crash his car the day
That's
before.
true.
Okay, now that one I thought we just said before break we weren't gonna. We weren't gonna.
It's still right there, like the day before this happened.
This is like a Netflix House of Cards thing right now. Everything else, like
they didn't need any more attention.
I will tell you this: Selig would not like this story coming out when he was the commissioner.
Oh, no.
He would have been irate that the NFL's releasing it and that even the Packers released the information. He would go up and down the ladder to find out who did it. Selig would not like this at all. That's one of the only thing I like about Selig, and I can't tell you what year it is, and I've told the story before, and the only person I heard it was Mike Greenberg from Mike and Mike in the Morning, and it was opening day years ago, way before we had this show, and they were talking about like the NFL draft coming up. And Selig himself called the show, called Greenberg, said, punch me into him during a commercial break, and said, it's opening day. I would appreciate it if you just open your show with Major League Baseball instead of the NFL. And Greenberg was like, the commissioner just called me, and he like came back on the air and apologized. And Selig would not like this one bit.
Right.
He'd call Goodell and be like, we are fist fighting in the backyard.
Bike rack.
Yeah.
3 o'clock.
Meanwhile, we just saw a guy, Manfred, who called the trophy a piece of tin that's named after him.
Right.
Who also took away the All-Star game away the Braves, and he's like, hey.
Manfred's already at his beach house.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Feet up.
Yeah. So he's like, what happened? Wait, who's Aaron Rodgers? I don't know. Wait,
I don't have to do anything until December 2nd.
hey, did you hear Aaron's got COVID, and they were talking about that and said, I thought Hank Aaron passed away. Didn't we go over this? We made a tribute to him and everything. Like, no, Aaron Rodgers, Dumbo. Like, I'm sorry.
Wrong Aaron, sorry.
Yeah. Hey, can we get another round over here?
You hear it in the background. Yeah. Do you want to cash out, sir?
So, yeah, I don't think Manfred really knows what's going on or anything like that. Yeah, boy. Well, the other thing that happened on Tuesday night was the University of Cincinnati got really pissed.
Oh, yeah, as they should.
Absolutely.
That was low blow. That made me angry.
Athletic director of athletics, however you want to name it, it's titled from Iowa. He's also the head of the committee. He basically just came out and said, like, outside of Notre Dame, who has Cincinnati beat?
That's true, but they've been putting it on. I mean, they're not just winning by little.
I gotta pull this up right now because I'm pretty sure.
What?
That's not the truth. I feel like they've been pouring it on everybody.
It doesn't matter. They're still undefeated, and they threw in Bama and Oregon, and Cincy is 6th.
Yeah.
Michigan State had just their first win against a winning team last week. Everybody else they beat has got a losing record.
Yeah. That's, I think, where I got more upset is that they dropped and Michigan State didn't make it to at least.
Huh?
About half the games they've been pouring it on, I guess, yeah. Statement wins.
Now, I know they're not in a Power 5 or anything like that, but they're at 6. Ohio State's at 5, and rightfully so if you're going to put Oregon in there. But I mean, Barta did say the committee has great respect for Cincinnati. The win at Notre Dame was a really impressive win, but who else did they beat? Looking at the big picture, we feel like 6 is the right spot for Cincinnati. Barta said, you should just be happy to be even mentioned, basically. He said also, we don't talk about ceiling for teams. We look at what's happened so far, and we see Cincinnati's undefeated now with a big win at Notre Dame. I'm sure there's a ceiling there. I'm not sure there's a ceiling there. Okay. Commissioner of the conference with the Bearcats are in said these rankings, the more you look at them, they're indefensible. It's clearly a Power 5 invitational. We'll see what happens the rest of the year. Let's hope that something changes the way this thing is being viewed.
Now, if you're going to like the last week of college football and they're still undefeated and there's some good teams or some Power 5 teams that have 1 losses, I can see them going to the back of the pack because they just haven't played anyone. But like we talked about earlier, the Big Ten's going through the gauntlet out on the east side.
Yeah.
I mean, those guys are just going to start beating up on each other. And whoever's going to come out on top, like a Michigan State, who beat a top-ranked top 5 team or a top 10 team, doesn't get the respect that they deserve, in my book. Are they going to give them respect if they beat Ohio State? You got to put them in the top 4.
Who?
Michigan State.
They're in the top 4.
Or they are in the top 4.
Yeah, they're
in the top 4.
They're number 3.
4.
Number 4? 3 or 4?
1 or 2.
They're number 3.
Okay.
That's what I'm looking at more is I'm looking at Ohio State because they're 5. And if they beat Michigan State, it's be like, well, they beat the number 3 team.
Yeah, that's not right.
Yeah.
So
that's...
it's Ohio State that's got it there. Other things, if you're the coach of Cincinnati, and that's Fickle, don't upset the committee chairman. Don't question the committee chairman. He's on a radio show Tuesday night. And trying to have some fun. He says to the radio host, who's the committee chairman? The radio host tells him, Gary Barta. Fickle says, did he play football? Meaning, what does the committee chairman know? He doesn't know anything about football. He's just getting paid. This is where it gets petty. Gary Barta responds as a guest on ESPN Radio. Here's what I know. I did play football, and I do know how hard it is to win any game. I don't care who you're playing. It's hard to win. But if you compare, you're talking about an undefeated team against another undefeated team or a team with 1 loss. That's the context in which that comment is made. This is on Freddie and Fitzsimmons on ESPN. Cincinnati's a great team. Desmond Ritter is a terrific leader in leading that team solidly. The comment I'm talking about is overall strength compared to some of the other teams we're evaluating. Michigan State did beat Michigan.
Yeah.
Other than that, no other victory, they have a winning record.
Okay, so you look at Alabama. I was just showing Adrian.
Yep.
Alabama hasn't beat really anyone other than being in the SEC. They lost to Texas Tech, who wasn't ranked.
Mm-hmm.
They beat a number 11 team.
That's Texas A&M.
Florida.
Florida.
Yeah, but they not Texas Tech. They lost Texas A&M. Yeah.
And they're number 2.
I mean, they've beat 3 ranked teams. Can you name any other team that's beat 3 ranked teams?
Alabama has?
Alabama beat Ole Miss, Miami, and Florida.
They were ranked early in the season. Miami's not ranked no more, are they?
I'm not sure. But, I mean, it still doesn't take away. They're still a ranked team when you beat them.
I think the key here
doesn't
is
really
that
take away from it.
There's so much money on the line with being in the CFP, and that's where Barta, quite honestly, is going to protect the Big Ten, and he's going to try to make sure that one of those teams get in because there's a lot of money that goes to the overall
set
pool.
Up for that. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
He set Ohio State up to
Oh, last year was 100% showing that.
Yeah, he set them up to launch into there just to be like, well, they beat them, so.
There's also nothing in my mind that I feel like you could say that's going to tell me that Cincinnati's a better football team than Alabama.
Well, let's go through this, though.
I agree with you.
Why doesn't Oklahoma have an argument at 9-0 over Michigan or Ohio State? And at number 9, Wake Forest is 8-0. And I know it's their first time being ranked since like 54 or 44. I don't know. It ends in a 4. It could have been any one of those decades. I don't care. But
those 2 teams, in my opinion, should be mad at Cincinnati. No matter how high they have Cincinnati compared to them, especially Oklahoma.
Those 2 teams should be mad at Cincinnati?
Or like mad where they have Cincinnati.
Because they're going to...
Because they're...
In a tougher conference?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Ugh. That's a good point, too, to be like, well, we couldn't put you guys in the top 4 without pissing off Oklahoma and Wake Forest. So that's kind of where we're at. I don't know what goes through the committee. By the way, it's all BS. It's just to get eyes on ESPN for a few weeks before it really comes down to the nitty gritty. And that's what they use it
It'll
for.
all start working itself out here in a minute.
Yeah, yeah, especially in the Big Ten West. And you looked at Alabama? What's their schedule look like? I'm sure Mercer's on the schedule on the docket soon. They've got that coming up because that's always a fun game that they have, like week 10.
And if you're Oklahoma, aren't you like excited to get out of the Big 12 since you're 9-0? If you're 9-0 in the SEC, you're number 1 seed.
Yeah, that's a great point.
So you're like, okay, once again, showing you why we're leaving the Big 12. Like, we're 9-0. We're number 8 in the rankings. Like, see you later, guys.
Alabama goes LSU at home, New Mexico at home, Arkansas at home, Auburn on the road. So basically 4 home games basically for
Auburn one's going to be tough. We'll see what Auburn does this week. They've got a pretty good game. They who does Auburn play this week? I think it's Arkansas. Yeah. That's going to be an interesting game for Auburn. They're number 13 in the college football playoff rankings.
Auburn plays Texas A&M this week.
Texas A&M, thank you. Sorry. Yeah, and they're 14 in the college football playoff rankings. So, and LSU won.
Yeah.
They've been playing tough.
Yeah, their interim coach, whatever, coaching for a job, doing a job thing. It's too bad it's going to go to Max Tucker from Michigan State. Yeah, who else after LSU?
New Mexico State and Arkansas.
Okay. I'm going to pass over New Mexico State.
That's going to be pretty much,
The Arkansas, they had a good start, right? Didn't
they started off
4-5
hot,
Yeah.
Kind of fell off afterwards.
Yeah. So, yeah, it should be, again, it'll all weigh itself out. We just always we're going to have the initial reaction, number one, and be like, what? And you know what I'm happy about? I'm happy that it's not like, what? Iowa should have been in there. So
Right.
I don't have that. I don't have to be doing that. And
We don't have to worry about that anymore.
Yeah, because then I would have been just defending what we saw the last 2 out of the last 3 weeks and been like, yeah, that's not what we thought.
It just irritates me seeing 2 SEC schools as 1 and 2, and I can just hear Paul Feinbaum in the back of my head going, "This is why Texas and Oklahoma wants to join the conference, and who would want to be the SEC?" And
Paul Feinbaum is the guy that's speaking for the entire conference, and then defends it to anyone who will say anything, and then says like, "Why do you think I'm an SEC homer?" Like, because you started on the SEC network. Right. Like, what do you mean? And then the ESPN bought the SEC network, and that's all you do is talk about the SEC.
And he's the one questioning Michigan State being in there. Well, let's look at Michigan State. What do they have to be in there?
I think
Oklahoma should be there. If they were in the SEC, they would have been there. Michigan State's looking in.
I can't believe Alabama just got in there. Like, no big deal. And Saban's like, makes sense to me.
Doesn't it, though?
Yeah.
Doesn't it make sense kind of everybody? One loss, but
one
still
loss
Alabama.
on the road, right? It was
Still
on the road.
Alabama.
And it wasn't by a lot.
No, but it was unranked.
Yeah.
That's just where the body of work always helps out.
They're ranked now. Texas A&M's ranked now. They're number 14. So at the time they were unranked. Well, maybe that's I don't know where's Texas A&M at. Well, how does it compare to the coach poll? Not that it's right. Coach poll is really the graduate assistants poll. In the AP, it's a bunch of old white guys. Let's see. Georgia's 1 in the AP. Cincinnati's 2. Alabama's 3. Oklahoma's 4.
That's what I was looking at when we were talking about this. That's why I got screwed up.
Okay.
Because they had Michigan State at 5.
Yep.
Yeah, that's in the AP. A&M is 13 there. They're 14 in the college football playoff rankings. And then
12 in the coaches.
They are 12 in the coaches. Okay.
And Michigan State's 6 in the coaches.
So that's why I feel like ESPN just came up with these rankings just to screw with everybody.
Well, it's not ESPN. It's the college football playoff committee.
Yeah.
Okay.
ESPN's the one that just they're
Reports
linked
on
to
it.
him because they're gonna have them on or whatever everything. So, yeah. Well, like I said, it doesn't mean anything. It just gets you talking about it, and it would have been the second thing that came out of ESPN radio this morning after the World Series that they talked about. But instead, they had breaking news, and it was Aaron Rodgers and his Halloween party. I'll just keep doing that over and over again. But Sam, Devin, before we take a break, tell us again about what you brought in, what's going on with Big Grove.
Yeah, so earlier we were trying the black and white TV. That's going to be in a little variety pack called It's a Wonderful 12-pack. Hazy double IPA, really limited, great stuff. And then brought in some Royal Eddy, which is our latest full-time year-round release. So a lot of people have had the Easy Eddy, which is just that hazy, fresh, juicy IPA. This is similar in kind of the drinkability, lighter body, some of those tropical flavors. A little sweeter than Easy Eddy, and it is 9% ABV versus 6%. So
that'll get you
more efficient. It's more efficient. But yeah, it's just a great beer. Definitely a good nightcap too. Because yeah, I think we released it right around one of the first weekends for tailgating, and I knew someone was going to buy a 6-pack, and they were going to find out pretty quickly that it drinks just like Easy Eddy, but 3% higher. So.
And I think that's what Luke Fickle will say, that Gary Barta was drinking some of the Royal Eddy when they were on the thing. I think that's what he was alluding to. So, like you said, it's going to be part of a variety pack. Anything else new and exciting that's going to be coming out soon from Big Grove?
Man, we got our annual Richard the Whale party is December 4th. So if you haven't gotten tickets to that, go to our website, biggrove.com. Check that out. That's our barrel-aged Imperial Stout that we come out every December with. That's just an awesome beer. It's we've got our kind of the regular version. We do some variants. There's a coffee variant, and then there's another variant. This year it's well baked, so there's some fruit added. So it's an Imperial Stout with some additives there that are pretty awesome. So
not often do I get to talk to people that are close to the brewery the way you guys are. You guys recently got into the seltzer game.
Yes, and it's been going really well. So kind of released it at a weird time because we were waiting on cans. Global shipping is just a nightmare right now. But yeah, we released a seltzer called Squeeze Hard Seltzer right around Labor Day weekend. 4 different flavors in a variety pack. And yeah, be looking for some innovation there on that side in the next year as well.
Are you like involved in any of the seltzer flavor meetings, like with the marketing thing, like what we're gonna do?
A little bit, actually. So what was really cool about the Squeeze project was that we actually took people from the tap room that are 21 to 25. They're the ones actually going out and buying like White Claw, Truly, things like that. And so during that process, it was just asking him like, well, what do you go for? What do you like? And so this group of about 20 to 25 was the group that decided on these flavors for our first package. So.
Okay. Because I it's, to me, a little bit excessive how much ever in the seltzer world.
Yep.
And I often wondered, like, when you guys were in these marketing meetings, like, if anybody just finally just stepped up and they're like, oh, enough. Like, well, we don't really need to infuse watermelon with a kiwi and also, like, a Jolly Rancher type of thing. You know, like, enough's enough. Like,
that
if
sounds
someone
delicious.
I think for
I
us,
just said it. Are you just mentioning things that you see in
right.
I'm looking at Jolly
The
Rancher.
lamp.
I love lamp, yeah.
What won me over was like when you look at the Big Grove, Iowa City location as a space and like as a community gathering spot, it's just like you'll see everyone there. Everyone's welcome. And one thing that was pointed out about our portfolio is like even some of our own employees that are gluten-free can't drink our beer.
Okay.
And so this was an option to kind of bring them into the Big Grove circle and say like, well, now we're going to have a gluten-free offering, with the seltzer.
Oh,
that's a good idea. Yeah,
that's interesting.
So it's like you bring so many more people into that Big Grove circle when you say, maybe you can't have our beer, but we do offer something else because we don't make a cider or anything like that. But to have a seltzer is pretty cool. And then doing it in a way that was just not like, doing it halfway. We went all in and had people from the brewery actually decide on these flavors and be a part of the process. So that was really cool too.
Got a good can design.
Yeah, it's great. It's we went with the slim cans and bright colors, and it's fun.
Is there studies behind the slim cans and seltzers?
I think there's a key.
It makes you think that you're skinny or something. If I drink this, I'm not going to gain weight.
It's like Mick Ultra with the slim white can.
Yeah,
it feels lighter. It's just
yeah.
It's a mental game.
There's less in here. I can drink more of it.
Yeah.
It's okay. Yeah, I do like the fact that for the people that are employed there, like every time, like, what do you mean you can't have an after drink after work beer with me or drink, and like I'm gluten free, and be like, all right, now sucker, you're stuck. Now you gotta have a beer with me. Like, we got you. We listened to you.
Right.
Now you have to have a beer with me. Like, oh great, all right. I really hate Tom, but I guess I have to stay now. I hate working with him, but I'm going to stick around and do it. So
yeah, because the people I hang out with for 8 hours a day, so I want to hang out with some more.
Yeah. All right, we got to take a break here. ESPN 1170 AM. Guys, in for a little bit longer? You got to go.
We got to take off.
Okay.
But I appreciate it.
Yeah. Devin, Sam from Big Grove. Guys, go out there. Pay attention to when they're going to have that variety pack coming up as well. Talk to your local bars about getting some of the beers on tap for Big Grove if they don't have it on already. You're going to be hitting up some spots. Might as well this right now, this afternoon.
Yep.
Why don't you give them a shout-out?
We're going to be stopping by Armored Gardens, Central Standard, a couple other places along the way, and yeah, just enjoy the wonderful Davenport, Bettendorf area.
So I missed it. When are you guys coming out with that variety pack? Do you have an idea?
Here in a couple weeks.
A couple weeks?
Yep.
Perfect.
Sweet.
All right, Sam, thank you so much for messaging me and coming in and bringing in some beers. Devin, nice meeting you, fellow Bettendorf alum.
More here soon. So.
Awesome. That sounds great. All right, guys, we'll be right back. ESPN 1170 AM. Well, let's just talk about OBJ and where he might land. Let's start recklessly speculating where he's going next. All right, we'll talk to you later. We'll be right back. ESPN 1170 AM.
Hi, this is Derek.
And this is Skip. We are the twins from Bar Davenport.
And you are listening to Don't Hassle Us, We're Local.
On ESPN 1170 AM.
This is Matt Koss of the Quad City Times, and you are listening to Don't Hassle Us, We're Local.
Hey, do you have time to go to Vegas with me?
Time? Yes. Extra money to pay for the flights? No.
No, not Vegas. I'm talking about Vegas, right here in the Quad City.
I've never heard about Vegas. Tell me more.
Oh, they're safe and secure gaming cafes with 6 locations.
What kind of games do they have there? And they've got beer, right?
They have the latest games provided by Gem, and yes, beer.
Sounds like I'm going to save on flights, have fun, and win big.
To find out more about their locations and hours, they're open. Visit VegasGamingCafeIL.com.
For the brightest hand-selected diamonds, come to Dolan Jewelers. This is Will Dolan, and we want to offer the best diamond experience for every client and every occasion. At Dolan Jewelers, we carry the most popular shapes and sizes, as well as a huge inventory of lab-grown diamonds. With custom goldsmiths right here in our store, your experience will be convenient, easy, and fun. Visit us at 3865 Elmore Avenue in Davenport or online at dolanjewelers.com.
At Shell, we know from the time you get up to the time you wrap up,
Good night.
There's a lot of meetups, eat-ups, and hurry-ups. So come to Shell and get 3 things done at once. Fill up with Shell V Power Nitro Plus to help keep your engine running like new. Save up with the Fuel Rewards program and never pay full price for gas again. And snack up with in-store rewards to save even more at the pump. Make the most of the stop you need to make with Shell. And engines that continuously use Shell V Power Nitro Plus premium gasoline. See full terms and conditions at fuelrewards.com.
If you live an average life, your heart will beat approximately 2.5 billion times. But eventually, it will stop. Sometimes unexpectedly. When it does, who will take care of the heartbeats you left behind? Life insurance. It's never too early to plan. Jorgensen Insurance. We have lots of affordable options, and we'd love to sit down with you and talk. Online at jorgenseninsurance.com. Helping protect what matters most.
Fall sports at Augustana College are putting a wrap on their seasons. Soon, we'll be moving inside the Carver Center and the brand new Ann Grieve Lund Natatorium. There you can cheer on Augie basketball, swimming and diving, men's volleyball, men's and women's wrestling, and women's water polo. Exciting non-conference and CCIW action is just on the horizon. Check complete athletic team schedules at augustana.edu. Augustana College, a family-friendly front row seat to big-time small college sports.
Car old? Need it sold? Get rid of that old car and do a good deed at the same time. Plus, clean up your yard before the snow comes. It's the Arrowhead Ranch Annual Auto Auction. That's right, it's back. Donate your car, truck, or SUV, and if you live within 40 miles of Coal Valley, they will even pick it up, even if it doesn't run. All donations are tax deductible. Call 309-799-7044 or check them out online at arrowheadyouth.org. Car old? Need it sold? Arrowhead Ranch Annual Auto Auction in Coal Valley.
From the Vegas Gaming Cafe, this is the Quad City sports leader, ESPN 1170 AM, KBOB Davenport, a town square media station.
I'm Ryan Radke with NFL Network Now on the Westwood One Radio Network. The Raiders have released former first-round pick Henry Ruggs III after he was arrested following a fatal traffic accident in Las Vegas. Las Vegas police say Ruggs was the driver of a car that struck another vehicle early Tuesday. The driver of that other vehicle was killed. When officers arrived on scene, they say Ruggs showed signs of impairment. Ruggs is now facing charges of DUI resulting in death. In a statement, the NFL said, quote, "We will continue to gather facts and monitor the matter under our policies, but our thoughts at this time are with those impacted by this devastating incident," end quote. In football news, the league trade deadline came and went Tuesday without a deal for Texans quarterback Deshaun Watson. But NFL Network insider Ian Rappaport says the Texans and Dolphins did have trade discussions involving the quarterback. The Chiefs made a move. They got former Pro Bowl pass rusher Melvin Ingram from the Steelers in exchange for a 6th-round pick. This has been NFL Network Now on the Westwood One Radio Network.
Did you know the arrow in Amazon's logo represents A to Z? Maybe the My Computer Career logo should represent unemployed to employed. Ryan was out of work when he started classes in March. In September, he started his IT career working for Amazon, making more money than he ever thought possible. Here's a prime opportunity. Go to mycomputercareer.edu and take the free career evaluation today. You could start your new life as an IT pro in as little as 4 months. It's not rocket science. It's mycomputercareer.edu.
Want to learn a new language so it will actually stick? Try Babbel. Practice real-life conversations in the Babbel app.
¿Cómo te llamas? ¿Cómo te llamas?
Get personalized help in Babbel's live online classes.
Classes are limited to 6 people, so everyone can get the help they need.
Review words and phrases with fun games, or dive into the culture with short videos. Whatever your learning style, Babbel gives you the tools you need. Babbel, more ways to learn. Now try Babbel free at Babbel.com. That's Babbel.com.
We're back here, ESPN 1170 AM, Don't Hassle So Local, Wednesday, November 3rd. It's 1:27 past noon. And I want to thank Sam and Devin from Big Grove coming in. The Royal Eddy Imperial Hazy IPA, great, different version of the Easy Eddy. And you have that on tap down at Frick's, right, Adrian? Easy
Yes,
Eddy?
yep.
And then they brought in the black and white TV, which, guys,
that's good.
If you've had color TV, which I love color TV, you're going to like this a lot. So, Big Grove, honestly, everyone knows my allegiance to single speed in Cedar Falls because of Morgan. I've known him for years in college, but Big Grove just every time, and Sam's been so good to the show and everything that they really don't produce anything that's bad.
No, and I'm excited for the variety pack because I recently got into that. Like, okay, like getting that special can coming out, like you didn't know what you're getting next type deal. And then when you get it, you're like, oh yeah, that's why I got this. Like, it's not just a 12-pack. It's
and I'm glad that these breweries are doing the variety. Not like they haven't done it before, but we talked about the seltzers, and those are variety packs too. And people just want to keep trying other things. Yeah, it is crazy that their test market was 21 to 25-year-olds because they're all drinking seltzers, and he did not say any gender whatsoever. No. It's crazy that it's across the board. Yeah. Whereas 2 years ago, if you had a seltzer in your hand, everyone would be like, what are you drinking?
Yeah. Happy White Claw Sunday.
That's cute.
Yeah.
I wonder if they have like one of them.
Did you just call your beer a Busch Latte, though? Like, show?
What are those calendars? Those Advent calendars where you can take, I wish I had a beer one where like you take a beer.
They do
out.
have they have a wine one.
I thought they had a wine one. I never seen a beer one though.
Oh, I thought I saw a beer one.
That'd be fantastic.
I would like to create a shot one, and you're just like, oh, no.
Dear God.
Marlowe. Is that what it is, Marlowe? The Chicago Handshake? What's that?
Merlot.
Merlot. No. Yeah. Marlot. That shot, that terrible. Yeah, and you're like, I have to take this? And like, yes, if not, Christmas is over. You've ruined Christmas. Yeah, you have to take it. All right, so the other news that we talked about in the NFL, OBJ.
Wow, train wreck.
He gone.
Cleveland Browns season is not exactly what they expected. I goofed around yesterday and said that it basically Baker Mayfield was paralyzed the left side of his body. But where is he? He's not part of the team anymore. Probably going to be cut, you guys said?
Yeah, I heard that he's possibly going to be traded for a kicking net. the kicking net is stronger and more mentally tough than OGB is.
If they were going to trade him, they're going to probably have to pay most of his salary anyway.
Yeah.
But now you just got to, if you want your season, if you want your season to turn around here and this to be a stepping stone a little bit, you got to get him out of the locker room.
Why do you not see this coming? Like, why do you not?
I think you
see this coming out of this individual.
I think you did last year. I think
you see it coming, but you just believe that you can help him make the changes he needs to make to be productive around your guys.
You want to be the Belichick of everyone. Like, oh, yeah, and look what they did with this head case. They were able to save him and bring him back, and Landry and him, and like you heard all these stories.
Everybody's smarter than the next guy, you know what I mean? Like,
Belichick doesn't wait like a season and a half, 2 seasons, or whatever else.
no, he threw away Moss real quick.
Yeah. Now that's the crazy thing in Antonio Brown too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The crazy thing about OBJ, and I don't even know what year it was. I'm
Who was the lineman defensive lineman too that Belichick got rid of real quick?
Yeah. But when he was when the Giants gave him a contract or the contract he wanted, they said to him, "We just need you to cool it on Instagram." And he was like, "Oh, absolutely, I will. I'm sorry, that's all you guys wanted, and you're going to pay me?" And they're like, "Yes, we just need you to like not be so like crazy on Instagram that it's in a negative light." And he's like, "Oh, I got you, fam." Week 5, he's back. And there's what are you what happened here? He's like, "Oh, I didn't know you guys meant forever." You know, this is what he does. It's just always like it's been about him. I mean, that's great. You make videos of him doing one-handed catches. It's nuts. All that other stuff. Where's he gonna go? You said maybe the Saints, Adrian.
Yeah, maybe the Saints.
And so,
Michael Thomas isn't coming back.
And someone said, I think you said Atlanta. I mean that
Atlanta's a good one because Calvin Ridley and
everybody,
good luck to him.
Everybody else is in Tampa.
Huh?
Yeah, everybody else is in Tampa. Might as well go down there and hang out with your homies.
Yeah, there you go. it's like in Dumb and Dumber. Pick them up then.
Pick them up.
Yeah. Atlanta would be a good landing spot for him. I don't know if good for the franchise, but he needs to go somewhere.
Where else can we figure out? Or somebody's got to need a wide receiver, right?
Well, if
somebody that's competing.
All right, Deebo Samuel's guy has been lighting it up for San Francisco.
And Brandon Ayuk he's just unhealthy right now, so I think they kind of got their guys that they want out there.
They still could use somebody because I don't know when Kittle's going to come back. I mean, I know he's tight end.
Yeah,
but,
I forgot about that.
If you're the Chargers, it's not answering your defensive woes against the run, but
how about the Chiefs? You know, maybe take some attention off the defense as well. Like, just everybody talking about the defense. Oh, they're bringing in.
But they picked up Josh Gordon, and they hadn't done nothing with him.
Yeah, and McCole Hardman. But
I hear he can't run routes anymore. I hear he's just slow, and he's not beating anybody anywhere. It's why he's not playing.
Okay.
The thing with the Chiefs are what Adam keeps pointing out. It's they're being guarded. They're not getting open.
Yeah.
So I don't know. You got to get him the ball situation.
The Raiders need a wide receiver.
I would say the Bears, but you know what did they?
The Raiders really need a wide receiver.
Yeah,
they do absolutely.
They needed one before this.
If there was ever a time that you'd be like, oh, completely the Raiders in history that we follow the Raiders, like he's definitely going to the Raiders.
Yeah,
like that would be the sports talk thing. Like, oh, he's going to the Raiders.
Right.
You know, it's the same thing. All of a sudden, a receiver runs like a 4.2, and you're like, oh, he's going to the Raiders.
Right.
But he didn't play like more than 3 snaps his senior year. Like, but he's ran a 4.2. He's going to the Raiders. Like that makes sense. And again, not to dive too deep into Henry Ruggs, but we talked about it before the show started. I mean, this is the guy that got drafted, and he was wearing like almost like a full-on fur coat and everything else. And I was like, that makes sense that they picked him on the Raiders. So, and it looked good for a while. And that's a terrible, terrible story. And we'll let that unfold on its own. I would say the Bears, but what are the Bears going to do? Because they have just done nothing with franchised Allen Robinson, and then they didn't trade him.
Yeah.
I don't think it's a good look for the Bears to pick him up.
He's not coming around. I don't think anybody in that division. I don't think the Packers want that headache. I don't think Detroit or Minnesota are in the market for a wide receiver. The Bears might be, but I don't think they are.
Minnesota definitely not. I mean, they got Jefferson and
they've got talent. They just don't throw to it. Look at the game, the stat line last week. There's no Jefferson. There's no Thielen. Maybe Cook got 80 yards. I don't know what the offensive plan was, but it wasn't to go to your star players or your athletes. I don't even want to say star because it doesn't mean they always have to have the ball.
Your skilled players.
Yeah, skilled players.
Philly always needs a wide receiver.
Yeah. That's a good point. Back in a division.
Yeah, that's true.
You probably automatically eliminate the Bengals, Baltimore, and Pittsburgh.
Yep.
Why is that?
Just division-wise, I guess it's not a trade.
Yeah, you're not
really,
trading within your
it's
division.
Not a
That's
trade,
a good
though,
call.
either. It's not really a trade,
you cut
though.
him, they can sign him. Yeah.
Yeah. Maybe Pittsburgh, but I don't think the other two teams want that around.
No, Pittsburgh got rid of all their head cases. Why would they bring another
Pittsburgh
one?
is like we
You just
draft.
lost
We
Juju.
draft our wide receivers.
Yeah.
When we get them in the 7th
Yeah.
round, we're good. Like that's what we do, and that's what they should do. That's what they should do. Well, if you're looking at that though, who thinks that they're still in it to make the playoffs? And that means I want to see if Philadelphia thinks that they're.
So that goes to the Saints. I mean,
I think that the Saints are the team we mentioned in the NFC that they're possible. They're at 5-2 right now. And the only reason that they're not leading that division was because of winning percentage. Eagles 3-5. To get in there, they'd have to make a run. Let's see.
they got a pretty tough schedule, if I remember right.
I think so as well. Let's see. They have the Chargers this week at home. That's an interesting game.
Yeah.
Because Philly really just ran it right at Detroit, and the Chargers aren't stopping the run.
No. But it makes sense that Chargers would stop the run against them and Philly would stop the run and start throwing the ball.
It does make sense. Sirianni just like, I don't care if it worked.
Yeah.
This is a different team than Detroit. At Denver, it's a winnable game.
Yeah.
Home against New Orleans. We don't know what's going to happen there. Is Trevor Siemian for real or not? At New York Giants.
Yeah.
At New York Jets. That's not a long thing. Then they have a bye. Washington football team at home. New York Giants at home. At Washington football team. Dallas week 18.
Any other divisional
playing.
games
Yes.
in any other division, you're not winning. But since you're in one of the worst divisions, I could see them.
They could rattle off 6 more wins.
Yeah.
9-8 could put him in there. If you're Philly, you might want to sign him. And that coach is crazy enough to be like,
yep,
to be the one.
He's the extra root that we need on our flour.
He's the third girl in the sorority that's like, yeah, you two before couldn't tame him, but he's differently now. Now I'm gonna date him. Yeah. I know you're mad that I'm dating him or whatever else. So he's the third girl in the sorority dating the guy in college that keeps sending snaps to everyone else except for the girl that he's dating at the time.
Yeah, I love that analogy.
Thank you. I just came up with it. That's the way I feel. Like you guys couldn't do it, but this is gonna work out for me.
I know he has a drinking problem, but I'm gonna go ahead and we're gonna fix that.
Carolina Panthers?
No. You got DJ Moore out there.
Robbie Anderson, right? He's up in the Jets now.
Yeah.
Why not the Carolina Panthers?
I think they're still trying to figure out their team.
They're going to get McCaffrey back, not this week, next.
They don't know who they're having at quarterback.
Well, we're looking for PJ. I don't know, Sam Donald. Yeah, he's got a pass concussion protocol. But 4-4, there's still a shot out there for the 7th seed. We already said maybe not the 49ers and Vikings are going to do it.
Could Mike White use a wide receiver?
Yeah.
Mike White could definitely use a wide receiver.
New York media again.
2-5 though. That's just to take anything off of the Zach Wilson, Mike White type of thing. To be like, oh, we have OBJ and Dolphins you don't want to take that on if you're the Dolphins.
No.
You're right. It's really if you're close to, if you want to make the playoffs, if you think he's going to make an impact. Now, do we think he's going to make an impact anywhere? That's the other thing.
The only impact he's taken is
his dad on Instagram.
Yeah. He's taking a focus off of your talent.
Do any of you have him on your fantasy football team?
No.
I know that's not a measure of how he is as a football player, but
I think it's legitimately a measure. I mean, if you're not picking him up, there's a reason why you're not picking him up. You're not looking at him. I didn't even look at him to draft him.
No, not at all. One of those things where I'm just like, that's not going to work out.
Yeah, so what if he catches a touchdown in week 6? I don't care.
Is he droppable in fantasy?
No. Oh, yeah, he's droppable. I'd drop him. I'd make a roster spot for him or get rid of him.
Is Julio Jones droppable in fantasy?
I've said yes from day one this year.
He's definitely someone. I think even you and I have drafted.
Yeah.
Like I wouldn't touch him because he's gonna miss like multiple weeks in a row. It would be like 7 through 10, and then you get him back for 3 or 4 weeks, and then he's out for the last
Last
four, yeah.
I was looking a little while ago. He was just 88% still owned, and I still own him in a league, but I didn't draft him. It was like our auto draft league, so I just kind of fell on my team. And he hasn't played at all for the team, but
he was like that in Atlanta too. I mean, just injury prone, and I don't know. He's getting up there in age. He's also alongside of A.J. Brown. I mean, you're taking chances of getting big plays away from him.
Since we're talking about fantasy, let's see if there's anybody in here just in the top 3 in these positions if you can sell high. And I think the ones that you can try to trade away, if you can still do it in your trading deadline, which I think you can in most of them. We'll just look at QB, running back, and wide receiver.
Speaking of trading, you and Troy have been really quiet this year.
Yeah, he offered me one dumb one or whatever else. Like I said, I was going to try to get involved, and all of a sudden it's just like Wednesday morning. I'm like, I didn't even add anyone on the waiver wire. I don't use my Tuesdays the right way, Adrian, the way I'm supposed to.
Yeah, I've been really bad about it this year too. Just haven't been good.
Outside of the top 3 in quarterback rankings, there's Brady. He's 1 for as far as PPR scoring. He's got 201.9 points. Josh Allen's 185.78. Matthew Stafford 183.48. Do you trade any of those high, thinking that maybe it's not going to work out at the end?
Maybe Tom Brady. I'm keeping Matt Stafford. I think you and I talked about that he was going to be the darling fantasy pick this year. A lot of people, you got him in a lot of drafts.
I did, yeah.
And in late rounds because it was Matthew Stafford. You didn't know what you were going to get, but I think you and I talked about it like, hey, he was throwing a lot of yards in Detroit with no talent and no offensive line. You're bringing him into a offensive mind coach who's willing to start playing the gunslinging game.
I think the one thing about Stafford that across the board everyone's like he's going to put up huge numbers. This is a time where fantasy football GM players were like, I'm not listening to talking heads. I'm just going to continue to do what that's why Stafford, you could get him so late.
Yeah.
It was a one pushback I haven't seen in a long time because I think there's a lot of people that are still bitter about Clyde Edwards-Helaire. And that guy was going in like the top 5, 10,
yeah.
And it just bit him. But everyone's like, he's going to be great, blah, blah, blah. So,
they just assumed they thought that offense was going to be unstoppable and that he would have a better year than what he did last year.
I think you could trade Brady for someone decent. If you got someone that's in the cusp of missing the playoffs and they need that quarterback, like if they have like a Tannehill right now, and you need to drop like a Tannehill and get somebody that's going to get you points, because I think Tannehill's going to have a huge drop off after losing Derrick Henry.
How many teams need a quarterback though in fantasy?
Yeah, but you can entice it with a 2-for-1 type of thing. You've really got to work it a certain way to be like, hey, like, this is the way it, I'm giving you this and you need this. Also, you need a tight end, and here's my backup and that type of thing. So, I'm trying to see if there's anybody else points for. So fantasy points wise, Jalen Hurts is up there.
Yeah,
quietly.
Well, I looked at getting him, but I just didn't know what Philly was going to be like because they predicted him to be the Lamar Jackson of fantasy football, like all the rushing yards, getting those extra points because of the rushing.
I think we talked about that early on, Jay. It's that garbage time.
Yeah, I love it.
Yeah, how do you not? You don't really care how the Philadelphia Eagles play. You just more care about what kind of passing yards this guy's going to get at the end of the game.
And that's why I picked up Justin Fields in a keeper league just for that, like with my last pick, just in case if he became the next Lamar Jackson with the rushing yards.
Burrow's up there. He went on number 2 in a lot of teams, not a number 1 overall quarterback. You could probably get. Would you be interested in going after Justin Herbert?
I still
after
would.
his couple games that
I
were
still
down.
would. Yes,
It'd be the best time to do it.
Yeah, that might be where my dumb trades come in. He might be the one I target. Let's see here. Running backs.
This is where it gets difficult because there's such a drop off.
Yeah, Derrick Henry's now on IR. He's 43. I mean, he's 40 points higher than the next guy, who was Austin Eckler of the Chargers. Then it goes Jonathan Taylor, DeAndre Swift, who
Swift is another quiet one. Like you just did not see that coming.
that's a quiet one. He's on a bye week. You can go out and get him, and I'm telling you right now, he went late in the rounds, and the owner is going to be like, I rarely start him anyway. And the reason why I know is because I have him. It's like, it's the Lions.
Yeah.
But yeah, he's number 4 in fantasy points in PPR. That would be one to go after, and it's a bye week to be like, oh, you can plug this guy in. You give him a running back. And Aaron Jones is 5, Najee Harris 6, Alvin Kamara, Cordero Patterson.
Yeah, that's another one.
Is 7, yeah. Interesting.
I think I picked him up and dropped him like 5 times.
Yeah. Are you interested in all in Adrian Peterson?
It's enticing, but no.
Have you seen anybody pick him up in your leagues?
Yeah.
Yeah, he's been picked up.
Okay.
14-team leagues.
Yeah.
I do think he needs to be owned in 14 and 16-team leagues. I know those leagues do exist out there.
No, I agree
12,
with that.
I think you can keep him off of there.
I am fine with shopping in one league. I know I have him, Tyreek Hill. And we're going on to wide receivers. Cooper Kupp, I'm not moving.
No.
I have him. Tyreek Hill, I'm fine with shopping around if anyone's open for trades for that.
MVP Cooper Kupp.
That's right. He's got 214 fantasy points, and then it drops all the way down to 177 for Tyreek Hill. Jamar Chase at 159. Good job on everybody who drafted him.
Yeah.
Just blindly did not care about preseason nonsense that we talked about.
So who are you looking to get out of Tyreek Hill? Who are you targeting if you're using him as trade bait? Are you targeting a running back, like a high running back, or are you targeting a high receiver with more touches, or
a receiver? Because Adrian and I spent a lot of time talking about running backs. In my stable is a lot of running backs.
Yeah, you do.
So
how's your tight end?
They're not good.
What? Maybe look at a Tyreek Hill for Darren Waller kind of thing. Would you do something like that?
Waller's hurt.
Would you do a Kelsey?
Well, am I worried about the Kelsey though? Like that goes 127 and drops all the way down to 110 for Mark Andrews.
Is Waller still hurt?
I don't know if he's still hurt. But
I bet you I can get away with a Hawkinson and somebody else for that.
Mm-hmm.
I would go after Pitts. Why not throw him out?
Oh, that's a great idea. Actually, I think
he might be too late on Pitts. He might be.
Yeah, but if you got Tyreek Hill
in a keeper though. Listen, in a keeper, why wouldn't I go? Actually, that's what's going to happen. Whoever, if they're listening out there,
it's coming your way. The trade.
Yeah, I know Tyreek Hill is.
That's my guy.
I have him in the keeper league, and someone else has Pitts. I think I'm flipping that.
Yeah,
and I'm going to look forward to what's going on from here on out.
I would.
Yeah, and be like, here.
Who are the rest of your receivers again?
That's the part I'm going to have to pull up for you, and it's probably nothing that's going to be. It's Cooper Kupp.
Cooper Kupp. I mean, that's your number one. That's huge. That's.
And I feel like you could pick up anything on waiver wire. Play the waiver wire for the rest.
Yep, absolutely.
So I'm saying
OBJ, pick him up then.
Russell Gage, I think it'd be a good one for Calvin.
If you're sending me that
absence.
trade request, if I had Kyle Pitts, I would really have to sit there and think about it.
Mm-hmm. Who's now the wide receiver? Peoples Jones or something like that for Cleveland?
Yeah,
he needs to be added in all leagues.
Agreed.
Baker already seemed to have some sort of repertoire with him before he got hurt.
Uzma's starting to upset me. I got all excited about him, and
yeah, I just didn't think that they'd ever consistently give him the ball. I added him on one of my teams.
But when they do, he's putting up points.
I don't have Cooper Kupp on that. I've got Tyreek Hill and I've got Cortland Sutton.
Ooh,
my tight end is already Mike Gesicki.
Yeah,
it's not gonna work out there.
If you have that ability to do that trade,
if you have Tyreek Hill, Cooper Kupp, I'd say you drafted pretty well. And you went wide receiver.
I have him somewhere. That's weird.
I picked up Devontae Adams with one of my first wide receiver picks, and COVID took him. And now Aaron Rodgers is going to take him again from me.
He'll still be valuable this week.
Yeah.
That's a no-sit guy. If he's good enough to suit up for the Packers, he's playing for your team too.
Do you think any owner would be interested in Tyreek Hill for Cooper Kupp?
No.
Probably not.
No. Unless they're not paying attention to what's going on in Kansas
Well, if
City.
I salt and peppered it too.
Yeah, you could. You could sprinkle in a decent tight end. Because tight ends is where, like you said earlier, it drops off pretty heavy in tight ends. You got Mark Andrews, and you got Kelsey. Kelsey's starting to upset me because that offense is just struggling.
Mm-hmm.
I've looked at possibly getting rid of Kelsey and kicking the tires elsewhere. Who do you target for Kelsey?
Who's really there though? You want Evan Ingram?
I'm just saying, like,
You want
if
O.J.
if you're
Howard,
weak,
possibly?
if you're weak in a running back, let's say you're weak in a running back, and you have Kelsey, who would you target for Kelsey in the running back? Who would you think would be equivalent trade? Like an Aaron Jones?
Where is that at? All right.
That might be too high anymore.
But
then if you let go of Kelsey, you're going to be sitting there with trying to make decisions. Who's your backup? You're going to go with Uzma, who's been basically the same amount as productive as Kelsey at this point. You're going to go with Joku or, an Evan Ingram or Cole Kmet. You don't want to have those options.
But you got
I don't really think
Kelsey's only putting up 9 3 points last week. I mean, granted, it was...
That's most of your tight ends these days.
Yeah. So that's what I'm saying is if you can trade high for him, if you can get like a Mixon or something.
That might be one. You got to find, but running back too is so scarce. I don't see a lot of people trading top tier running backs for Travis Kelsey right now.
Yeah, I don't think so either. And
if you can find it, I would do it. I'd trade Kelsey right now for a top tier running back if I could find it. I just don't see it happening. But you might be able to somebody that somebody's
going
in
to.
the league that might.
We've all got that bottom half of the league that somehow took Kelsey in the first round, and now they're just sick that they took in the first round, and they're complaining about the team, but they really don't know how to run their team. And they're like, "Yeah, this sounds great." You know what I'm saying?
Well, that kind of hurts, Jake. Cause,
no, I don't think that's you. If you talk to Merrick, Merrick's always like, "Yeah." Merrick would be like, "Yeah, I pick on those guys. I know the guys you're talking about." All right, Adrian, is there anything in the NBA you like last night? How did last night go for you? When I say what you like, I'm talking about gambling, of course.
Last night was a fantastic night, as we talked about when I first walked in. Hit 2 5 legs of a parlay and cashed out pretty nicely.
Money line? Did you throw in sprinkle money line and spread? What'd you do?
One of the parlays was all money lines.
Mm-hmm.
I'm trying to pull it up right now. Just go to it. I took the Lakers, Suns, Jazz, Heat, and Bucks all to cover the money line, and then those teams all won. And then I kind of went into betting points for players last night.
Oh, okay.
And I took 5 different guys, and it was these over/under on their points, and I hit all 5 of them.
Nice.
And that one paid out quite nicely.
That's great.
I took Giannis under the 31.5. I thought he'd be sitting most of the fourth quarter against the Pistons. And he did. Jimmy Butler, he played the Dallas Mavericks. That game went pretty much down to the wire until they pulled away at the end. He was over 21.5. Donovan Mitchell over 27.5. Jonas Valanciunas, he's the center for the Pelicans, and they set out Zion's been out, so he's been killing it for them. He was over 18.5, and Russell Westbrook ended my night with over 18.5, and all those hit.
You were doing a lot of scoreboard watching.
I was doing a lot of scoreboard watching as I was looking at my phone quite a bit when I was watching that baseball game. The Lakers was the only one that actually cashed out that. They ended up winning. They were up 8 with like 2 minutes to go, and it was a cash out option. I think I could win like 226, and the cash out option was 216. And I'm like, just take it right now, cash it out. $10.
Yeah.
I'm just gaining $10 if something happens.
Cash out options, awesome.
And the Rockets made it close, and it was a 1-point game with like 35 seconds left, and I'm glad I didn't have to sweat it anymore.
Yeah, let's call it. It was a good run. Good run. We'll just take it while we can.
Take it, run away with it.
Speaking of over/under, did you see the line for the Missouri-Georgia game? 38 points.
Oh, wow.
You got to take it, right?
Because Georgia's going to put up 42?
No. Yeah, that's why.
Yeah, or 35 and 7, and somehow they get a 7 out of there. Yeah. I could see that. I think Notre Dame against Navy is low as well. I think it's at 42. So.
And Ohio State against Nebraska is only 14.5.
Yeah. Well, Nebraska 18.5 against they shouldn't. They were 18.5 against Penn State. That was wrong. Is that Nebraska?
It's at Nebraska.
Not that that's that big of a deal. We've already said that's like 1.5 or anything. Yeah, those are some that we're going to be looking at and more. We'll do that tomorrow. Before we call it a day, is there anything you like tonight, Adrian?
Let's see here. Right off the top, I like the Wizards to beat the Raptors. I like the Knicks to beat the Pacers. I like the Bulls. They're 6-1 against the spread as well. I like the Bulls here.
Ben Simmons is not going to be there. He is
no Simmons. Yeah. 76ers has been beating up on some of the lower end teams. Haven't been looking that great against the higher
say
end.
That again. What you liked?
The Bulls tonight.
Yeah.
Knicks and Wizards. Those are my three that I'm betting. That the bet's already in. And those are going to be the first half of the games. The late night games, I like the Grizzlies, the Hornets, and the Mavericks.
You like the Hornets, huh?
Mm-hmm.
Perfect. All right, fun show today, guys. Tomorrow, I don't know. Maybe we'll have TV back. We're going to argue if Ben Roethlisberger's top 10 of all time, but that was the teaser we left yesterday.
Loved it.
Good show. Love speculating about Aaron Rodgers' COVID, and it's just something we got to pay attention to overnight and come back and just argue about it all over again. Not argue, but argue about him and hijacking sports media. But, hey, we're to blame for following along with it. We're just the ones that recklessly speculate that he had a Halloween party with the Milwaukee Bucks.
And if you were at that Halloween party, you need to go get tested.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, yeah. So, we'll see you guys tomorrow. Stay safe and sanitize, Quad Cities. Good luck today. Good luck every day. Take care.
I need Indeed.
Indeed you do. Instant Match instantly connects you with quality candidates